you're playing Lethality Varus in this draft, Clear has such a huge responsibility in this game. He's the only one who has a strong direct counter pick to what his opponents have put together here.
Show BNK and Diablo what it's like to feel that. Really highlighting their lack of experience. But here comes the Jarvan. And now we got Diablo in a lot of trouble, and the flash forward from Canyon picks up the first blood just like that.
They were prepared for this possibility. They had the ward. Kellen misses the knockup. So they're going to look to scrap for it, though, Gen.G. We'll see if the Weaver's Wall can be placed here to deny.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can come in here as Kellen going to try to engage. Canyon trying to get into the pit, and he will. It will come down to just a flip, and it goes to Canyon on top of the kill on a Raptor, and Diablo nowhere to go. He is going to flash the wall and immediately die, and Gen.G is already rolling BNK in this first game. So we do see Kellen flash away just to eventually die to Ruler, who picks up the kill, and it's already almost 2,000 gold and the Dragon to Gen.G. And Canyon has made his presence felt already.
I think the frustrating thing for BNK and partially why they decided to commit there, speaking of commitment.
Oh, we got a Pantheon coming on in as that is going to be Tempered Fate used, but Duro, there was nowhere for him to go, and he doesn't even flash, accepts his death.
So that's a big Tempered Fate to help Ruler get out, but it is not going to save his life. In dangerous positions, and BNK want to chase, they want to catch him, but he's Jarvan. He's like, I'm out of here. I got flash up, by the way.
Late too. I mean, like Diablo's going mid, but he's not. He's not going to be here on time. Nice smite here from Raptor, but yeah, at least they are trying to deny. As yeah, he just takes the 2, and now Gen.G have 2 of the grubs. All right.
See if Keen gets potentially caught.
Yeah, not on vision here is Raptor. No Meganar though, so maybe gonna wait for that. No, just gonna hop on forward and look to bait him into this fight as the needles will come out. Flash forward from Raptor, just trying to burst him down, and the shield comes up right at the perfect time. Clear secures the kill.
Can get here in time.
I think
it look likely.
Yeah, a little bit too late. And they have Bard as well, so they just, yeah. They just all do that. Magical Journey over the wall.
And now the tables have turned completely. Clear's teleport is coming back.
Bit of a stun here on a Duro, trying to, okay, that was kind of strange, but Vikla does dodge it, and now Duro in a really weird spot, just gonna go down, and Vikla essentially outplays him, and the Rift Herald has to be stopped.
There's a lot of momentum back into the hands here of BNK.
Do see a bit of an all-in here from Keen as the needles going on in, wants to get that snip, and eventually does a nice amount of damage, but Rift Herald still goes over.
Back-to-back objectives here, and it looks like they will.
Yeah. And their comp right now, quite strong, especially with the Fed Gnar that comes over with the Mega Gnar. Goes down to 1, kind of funny there. But they do get the first Infernal Drake, going to be pretty huge for and get away. Nicely played from him to get out of sticky
on the
situations.
Cross maps, I'm going to get this turret, it looks like here. They do have to expend the Rift Herald for it, so pretty expensive. But in terms of gold,
turret,
they pulled ahead into the gold lead here, BNK do.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And you see that this game has, I was going to say slowed down, but now Vikla in a lot of trouble. Just getting run at, sprinted at by Chovy. Raptor doing a number here to Duro, and now the rest of the team has shown up. So a couple of kills going each way. Looks like Chovy and Diablo picking up 1 apiece. And now we got Diablo in a bit of trouble. He is going to have to flash out of this one. Gets over the wall, and now the Pantheon's coming in. Canyon get low, gets taken out. Diablo steps up and immediately dies. Double kill comes in for Ruler, who is just shredding them apart. Clear alone now as the damage too much from the Gen.G composition. Clear. And he's probably going to get away from this one, but it's still a good fight for Gen.G.
Pre-actualizer.
Yeah, and take a look at the score lines here for Gen.G. We're not going to have time for that, though. As the Dragon getting low. Raptor in a lot of trouble. Going to have to put up the shield and evacuate the pit as that Infernal Drake does go over to Gen.G. Not much hope here for BNK. They're like, oh, maybe we can take a fight with Mega Gnar. Nope, Gen.G are already out.
This is, it really felt like for a while, maybe BNK could prove that mechanically with the hands, right? That there were some moments, there's some outplays that could turn this draft on its head. Diablo
on this Gwen, you're really going to be struggling. I mean, there's nothing really that Vikla can do into the Rise except clear the waves himself.
I mean, just look at the mini-map outside of where Clear is.
Trying to make a play here onto the Gwen. You see the stun, the wallop does come down. Raptor is here. It's a bunch of damage into Keen already, but the needles are coming out. He has to flash away.
Baron, it's Baron.
Yeah.
Gen.G.
They're trying to dive Keen here, but this is a distraction from the real win. As look at this Baron. And it's already down to 7,000. They have insane amounts of damage with the Sivir and the Rise.
Just cannot do anything here. Diablo's already opted out. He's just pushing mid. The Baron goes over. And this felt so obvious. The Rise has topside control. The mid plyo is there for the Sivir.
Yeah, it's absolutely not going to be. I mean, we have 3 items already on the Sivir with the Flicker Blades. That's a knockback on a Canyon who has been so tanky and so survivable. They finally take him out in this scenario. As now the McHales comes in on a Raptor. Tons of damage comes out from Chovy. And the disengage cone does get them to safety.
And the Gnar is pushing with teleport.
Walls coming down. I mean, trying to catch Ruler here, but it's a Sivir. I mean, this is not going to work. As they're desperately trying to get the picks going, and now we got a TP coming in. But they are moving forward. The knockback this time on a Ruler is big, and Raptors tanking in the front line. But it's really just a kiting battle, and Clear is pretty gigantic on this Gnar. He wants to push forward, and he is on the hunt. Look at this guy, little mini Gnar, just sprinting at them, but he's kind of alone, taking a bunch of damage from Ruler now. As Chovy on the chase, flashes forward, gets the kill on a Vikla, and now Clear in the backline can't do enough by himself, gets the Gnar.
Raptors ult's coming up,
and that's about it. And Diablo and Kellen on the backside here, just being hounded down by Chovy, who is getting free money. A double kill comes in, and Gen.G get a massive fight.
And Chovy, with this flash play in this fight, says that he too can hands check this team. BNK had their angle, they had their moment. They commit to the Gnar play. They don't sit him in sides. They know that if they just let Gen.G play through this Baron, they are just never going to be able to have an even or fair trade value here. The Gnar is eventually kited down, and that's the end of this story.
For me, it's the Q flash extension from Chovy. That's insane. They're trying to get the charm on Akeem, but look at Diablo. He's just dead. He's already dead. They had to try to fight for the Infernal, and this is what it looks like when you try. At this point in the game against Gen.G, they will massacre you. Double kill goes the way of Keen. And I think it's all done but the crying here in game number 1, Wolf. Gen.G just too far ahead. Chovy nearly legendary, not a single death on this guy. And 5-0 and 6 for Ruler as they push to try to end game 1.
Maybe the Gwen that they gave no draft resources to got countered by the Gnar, but it just doesn't matter when you have triple threats, 2 of the 3, deathless until this very moment. They are going to do way too much damage. We were worried about the wave clear, we were worried about the scaling damage, but this game didn't even crack 30 minutes, and Gen.G taking a decisive first win in this series. Vikla, if he can get Prio in the mid lane, they can play through that Nocturne post 6. I don't like the bottom 2v2 matchup. I think we will all agree on that. Diablo is going to have to show us.
Duro are expecting the gank to come in because they're pretty far up the lane. They're keeping Diablo and Kellen at arm's length as the fears should be coming down here onto Ruler, who has already flashed. He's getting low, and it's first blood for Raptor in the bottom lane. He's back. I mean, Raptor's down here once again. I don't think he is trying to get the gank. I think he just wants to pick up the Scuttle Crab and hit 6 off of it. If he has done this correctly, he's also starting the Dragon, so.
I mean, I believe Ruler just did his first back, so he didn't have items he had to back. They knew that, and they were like, all right, well, with no Ashe here, we can get the push through. Canyon's looking for a potential steal setup.
He's gonna have to just kind of walk in, and he is going for it. Really wants this early Drake. It comes down, and Canyon does it again! And even ults in with level 6 and forces the flash over the wall. But Raptor still gets the kill. Gen.G get the first straight, though.
Still.
Ooh.
He has enough space.
Sidestep on the handshake.
And I think if they get anything there, like the handshake connects or Fate's Call is close enough to catch, the Raptor can look for an ult play. They still want to make something of this.
Yeah, I mean, they know this is possible. Raptor's just going to run at them. And Ruler, I mean, there's really nothing he can do except barrier eventually. And now, with the paranoia coming in, he will pick up the kill on a Ruler in the bottom lane. And just like that, Raptor is 3-0 in this game.
Quintessential Raptor early game. And this Renekton hasn't been played through really just yet. See what he can do in these team fights, because he's another melee that if he doesn't get charmed or rooted or taunted, or ulted by Ambessa, or skewered by Keen, can get a lot done.
It's a lot of things he has to avoid.
Picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah. This. Canyon is top lane, so this Dragon will be BNK's. And of course, this is calculated. Canyon not going to try to put his face on the line to try to steal once again. Raptor not even going to smite this one down, and it's Mountain Soul that does come in.
Wave is here a little bit for a potential paranoia. They're not going to commit, though. It's just too thin. So it is just Dragon, like you say, into Mountain. And actually, Gen.G back away.
Yeah. Gen.G are backing off of the canyons down the bottom side. We saw Clear actually going in. But yeah, they are going to see Raptor moving over here, and I think they're just electing to say, well, at this point in time, you got a Calista on one item, the Nocturne is gigantic. Let's not take any risks.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. You know, you do have Zahen, you've got Mbessa, you've got Ashe. I do feel like, you know, given enough time, a little bit more tankiness, maybe you can sneak some of the Dragons. If they get into a 5v5 team fight and not die to the Nocturne, they're going to be in a good spot, and I think they can do that a little bit better.
However,
a little bit later in the game.
I agree with the choice from Gen.G because this is how you could lose the game. Timing of this with the Dragon guarantees prio here. Now, they don't necessarily be able to get the whole turret here, but it is going to be a big chunk, and that prio guarantees that they get this Dragon set up here.
I feel like it's a little bit early from the side of BNK, but they get total control over the river, which is the main thing. They have the sticks in the Dragon from the Callista. Surely they can just time the smites here. The ult is not going to land, and oh no! Not like this, BNK!
My God, I don't know my number, but in terms of smites, it is high enough.
Oh, and now they want to dive. This could be, oh, they're not going to land the arrow, but it's still a lot underneath this turret, and Clear has nowhere to run, and they're just so tanky already.
And just like that, the advantage that BNK had, it's okay.
And now, in live, Vikla shockwaved, and now he's going to try to flash away. Canyon says, you're not getting away from Mbessa that easily. I will collect the kill. And bad turns to worse for BNK as Gen.G, they will feast on any amount of room you give them.
The Dragon is secured once again for them.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be avoiding fights. They want to fight with the strongest. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's going to be the Fate's Call already utilized. You do see the taunt immediately as he comes down, and Kellen has to flash out. Meanwhile, he gets charmed up by the Seraphine. Not in a very good spot. Bailout on Diablo. He immediately dies. And Raptor all alone. It's a very broken up fight for BNK, but it's 5 men strong for Gen.G. As Chovy, he is hunting that backline, and he will make that play happen.
3 seconds on Baron. 3 seconds on Baron when this happens.
It's free. It's free.
It's so free. There is no jungler. There's no damage. Vikla doesn't have Shockwave. He's sitting on a Rod of Ages that's not complete. He can't hurt a fly. This Baron is just going to go down right away, and Clear is just going to hope to trade it for a turret here with Vikla. But that fight was the last chance I was alluding to. And it slips through their fingers. They get absolutely crushed. Gen.G snatch this victory away in a split second. Baron's up. Suddenly, what was a 1,500, nearly 2,000 gold lead for BNK for all of the early game.
Kellen throws himself in, a little bit of engage Renata, right? Everybody piles on with essentially 5 melee, it feels like. But if you're getting engaged on and Kellen's throwing himself into a Galio just to get taunted, and Diablo's left all alone, you're not winning a single fight. And especially not when you're this far behind. As now Vikla just runs into them. And Gen.G say, thank you very much. We will pass go and collect 370. As we do have the taunt coming down the charm there on a Diablo. As he's just running away, and Gen.G are just styling on them now. Aru comes down on a Clear as he's free food as well. And he's looking a lot like solo queue. And BNK are just getting rolled now, 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah, it's just 7,000 gold lead now. This turret is just dead. And Gen.G can go ahead and grab Soul Point. They seem only vaguely interested in that, as they'll send Canyon over alone.
They're like, I guess sure.
An inhibitor is pretty appealing. And Diablo nearby and 4 seconds on Vikla. They might not be able to get that whole inhibitor, but they're so ahead. I think they could have gone for the try. Instead, they'll send Chovy over here. They'll take out an additional turret. And 7,000 turns to nearly 9,000 gold. The advantage.
Yeah.
Soul Point in pocket. It's feeble in comparison.
Yeah.
It's like putting your hand up against a
all right, they're going to try for it, Wolf, as I don't think I saw a Shockwave. There it is, and he's just going to flash it. And now in goes Canyon. He says, jump, I will take the kill. And picks up 2, picks up 3. And that's the one thing about BNK. They will never back down from a fight, even if they're 10,000 gold behind. But sometimes it just looks like this, and it's not very fun for them. Gen.G, though, having a ball, just running them down. Vikla going to flash away. And maybe for now he will survive. But the game is over. The game was over. It felt like 10 minutes ago.
The good news is his Rod of Age is completed. Oh. That's the only good news, Valdez.
Yeah, that's going to be the end of Clear, and it looks like the end of Game 2 going heavily in favor of Gen.G, just like that. You gave them an inch, one failed play, and Gen.G said, thank you very much. We will take the game from here. 2-0 for Gen.G, as they are looking like the strong favorites to take this LCK Cup.
They were the massive favorites before the night began, but there's an insane amount of engage on the side of Gen.G and so much follow-up damage. The Yunara and the Annie will do crazy amounts of damage, and the front line of the Aatrox that kind of holds it together could also be certain follow-up CC, but crashing these waves in may force some jungle attention. But the bigger win is that Hextech Dragon has spawned, and we do have Raptor taking it here. And unfortunately for Canyon, he's not level 6 yet on this Wukong. Difficult to challenge, but I mean, I've said, Canyon, I don't know about this. I've said, Canyon, I don't know about this. So
no, not again! He does it again!
This cannot keep happening!
And Raptor's like already backing off. He's like, I have to respect this. Oh yeah, it's just a done deal. I know he's gonna steal it away.
As Canyon is the man of the objectives tonight.
Yeah. And much in the way that yesterday was pretty one-sided, stomp towards the side of BNK. It does feel like we're getting similar energy here tonight. You know, I was hoping for at least one of these series to go 4, maybe 5. My prediction was 3-2 Gen.G. I thought BNK, well, the start of game 1 brings back those bad memories for BNK. That's really the main issue.
The good news for this Dragon is that Canyon is about half the map away. So
that'll help.
This one will go over. I mean, Ruler got the steal with the Ashe previously.
Against Kalista. That was just crazy. No flash here for Vikla. Sun comes down. Chovy probably going to have to farm that one up again because he's got flash. And this is really where, well, okay, there's the stun. As the divide does come through, though, Canyon gets pushed away. Very nice response here from Vikla. And now Raptor on the chase. No flash here for Chovy. Can't get away from the Mundo. But Canyon goes back in on a Vikla, who's desperate to try to get the kill and just dies. First blood to Chovy as it gets messy, and Gen.G wins those.
And now Canyon's on to this Herald. We're going to see a TP from Vikla and possibly just another one from Clear here for the contest. And that should be enough to push them off. Speaking of TP, Keen will match.
Yeah. Everybody's getting in here for the party. And Raptors still holding on to that shield. There it goes. Canyon still on this one. And look at Chovy. He's got the angle. And look at Kellen. Where did he go? As the item completed. At least Raptors able to get the Rift Herald, but not the Eye just yet. Vikla having a rough time. And they're just wailing on Clear here, who is going to pick up the Eye and just decide to go down for it. And Duro will be totally fine. But that's a couple extra kills for Gen.G. And yeah, you got the Eye, but not worth in my book.
They get Keen. I don't think so. Chovy's still here.
Beefy tanks, but Chovy with flash and insane burst damage, he doesn't have to target the tanks. Target literally anyone else, and you're going to one-shot them. Or you can just target Raptor too. I guess that works out. You don't necessarily need the kill, as long as the jungler's nowhere near, and you're still going to pick up the Drake.
Starting to feel like BNK just don't have anything in this, you know, as Clear is just gonna ult in and...
These are the two tanks, and now Diablo's like, well, I guess I'll try to do something, as is often asked of him, and now finally gonna find an angle here on a Duro. He is down. Vikla, important kill for him.
Also got the charge into the mid turret. They saw the split, they knew that, you know, Duro was a little bit out of position there, couldn't really peel for Ruler, but turning it into a big win.
Ruler? You gotta be so careful. I don't think you get to stand there.
No.
Especially without Nico, even with Nico.
It's a kind of notorious location for Ruler to stand.
Oh, engage potential here onto Diablo as they're just going to go in on a Kellen, and there's the follow-up from Duro. Gets the knock up into the roots, and Keen is on the hunt, and one auto and one Q is enough. Even gets the couple of them, Raptor and Vikla afterwards, and he is not done with this fight himself. He's gonna fight Vikla, who gets rooted up and taken down. And Raptor and Clear, the two tanks, just left twiddling their thumbs.
And there was a reason why Ruler wanted to stay. We saw it on full display. The collapse was real, the engage was solid. And Diablo and Kellen are dead, and Diablo's down a flash as Chovy is just gonna walk it off.
Oh no. Now he's just having fun.
I don't want to call this series a choke for BNK, because I don't think that characterizes it well. It's a great performance from the bottom turret.
Yeah.
It'll be their third of the game.
So maybe down 5,000 gold. Well, not quite, but still. We do have this Infernal Drake coming up here in 10 seconds, and getting that turret
I think they're just
going to make it even easier.
I think they're just going to give it up because...
I mean, Chovy's like, cool story, bro. I can still one-shot you. Diablo, no! Not like this! I was just saying that he can just one-shot you.
And he does! It's
He's
like,
canny with Flash!
It's exactly as you say it. And Diablo's so known to try to bait these types of exchanges, so known to try to set these traps to you know, dangle himself out there and say, I'm going to outplay this. But he didn't have Flash, and Chovy did. But,
yeah, it looks silly, and at the same time, I think Diablo knows, as we were talking about, like...
Rip my health bar to 0. He's just trying, he's like trying to hit Keen, and Keen's like, I'm not even going to be in range, by the way.
Yeah.
Now the wraparound is complete. Let's see if you can fight your way on this one.
Okay, that is one way to just die. Flash into the Nico.
Did he think he was going to flash past it when Duro flashed towards him?
This is indeed a grand finals. It's
Kellen
still LCK, and it's still Gen.G.
I suppose that's good. Plus 15 gold.
Yeah, well, King gonna enjoy another kill. And, you know, one of the big hopes for BNK is now 0-3.
Almost, it looks like, at this moment in time.
I mean, I suppose they could. They don't necessarily have to. Duro, awkward spot for him. The root is there. And Ruler's just kind of running at them. There is Canyon going on in, finding the front line. Diablo the first to go, Kellen the second. And I think the wallets are just too heavy. The root comes in, and down goes Vikla. And this is looking like an ace to the side of Gen.G. The tanks, if they're alone, can do nothing. And at least Raptor rather, is going to be able to flash his way to safety. But this game can't flash away to safety for BNK. It's looking like a 3-0 tonight here, Wolf.
It does look that way. And what a tragic loss for BNK. But perhaps now they understand how D+ felt yesterday at their mercy.
How cold it gets at the top, as Ruler was talking about.
I'm in awe of Gen.G. And yet I think if I said that I watched BNK's best today. That turret first, but there's a limited amount of time. Gets the bounty. He's backing first. They're just trying to slow this down.
Yeah, maybe hoping that Gen.G are going to peel off of it, but it doesn't seem likely, as now we get the TP and Diablo goes in, and that's the damage that they just push him away, and immediately just pops like a balloon to the Unara. And you see Vikla as well trying to survive on the right side. He's going to get rooted up, and that'll be the end of him. The quadra kill for Ruler. He is screaming for the Penta, and you know they're going to give it to him. Penta kill for Ruler in the LCK Cup Grand Finals.
A Penta in the finals, and I guess Vikla got his Shadow Flame. You know, he put it together. He wasn't going to come to that fight early. He said, I'm getting this turn, I'm going to get Shadow Flame, I'll be right there. But the rest of his team was dead upon arrival. And the Diabolution this time is 0-5. And Gen.G dominate, crush this finals like they crushed all tournament long. BNK took one game off of them, and that's the only scratch they had all tournament long. But on the second time of asking, they dropped 0.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.